Christa knows exactly what she wants.
But I really just wanted to get married and have kids.
And Scott just wants what Christa wants.
I definitely like to get back to a sex life.
They already have twins. Now they're adding a third. Be careful what you wish for. Coming up on birthdays.
It's very real now.
Come on.
Mommy's a basket case.
She became overwhelmed.
The intimacy thing is a problem.
Dad got sleep last night. Mom not so much so.
Hi, baby.
I'm Scott Hare. I'm 24 years old.
I'm Christa, and I've been married to Scott for 3 years now.
I'm a software engineer. We've been married for nearly 3 years now, and we're going to have the baby January 18th.
Excuse me, nearly 3 years.
Nearly 3 years?
No, we hit the third anniversary. Let's try like 3 and...
3 years and 4 months.
Thank you. I am 38 weeks and 4 or 5 days pregnant.
And we're doing about 10 days.
Christa met Scott at university. They married and she was pregnant before even finishing school. All part of her plan.
I really just wanted to get married and have kids. We can't really go to marriage school or, how to conceive 101. They don't offer that at university, so I picked something else.
Christa likes to say that she went to school and she got 3 degrees. She got her chemical engineering degree, and she got her MRS degree and her MOM degree.
I picked chemical engineering, but I didn't really enjoy it, just because I knew I didn't want to be doing that for the rest of my life.
I know when Christa went to university, she had much more of an idea of wanting to meet a man, and she knew she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So it's definitely much more in line with what she had planned. I certainly wouldn't have expected this path for my life.
Having children early in her marriage is another key part of Christa's master plan. She and Scott already have twin boys, David and Isaac.
When baby Joe is born, I will have 3 children under 1.5 years. And to be perfectly honest, the thing that frightens me the most is the amount of diapers I'm going to have to change.
We're probably going to be looking to have number 4 pretty soon after, in order that we don't have the 2 the same age and then one 16 months later and then 2 or 2.5 years after that.
Excuse me, you're not the one who has to carry the next baby soon after this baby?
That's true. That might be a big deciding factor about how soon we do it, how early Christa's ready.
You do have to take into account the fact that our sex life, again, will go right downhill. But after that, we'll be finished. We'll send you to the little man.
Get the vasectomy.
With the vasectomy. And we can have all the sex that I want. When a woman is pregnant, she's not quite as interested in having sex. And when a man is not pregnant, he always wants to have sex.
I think sex is different for the sexes. This is a generalization, but I think when it comes down to it, men just need to get their rocks off. And for women, it's more about intimacy and connecting on a more emotional level. And men just have to be patient.
And it's always unfortunate if one person has a stronger sex drive than the other. And it becomes, you'd prefer to be matched up in terms of sex drive. But really what I should do, if Chris is not in the mood, is just let it go and go to sleep.
But that's because you...
2 babies is a lot of work, but will 3 babies be harder?
I suspect for at least the first while when baby Joe is up in the night or anything like that, it's going to be rough going around here. I pride myself on being a strong person, and I hate the fact that people, when they see me in stores now or with the twins out and very pregnant, they're, you're never going to leave the house after this. How are you going to manage? I'm like, what do you mean? People have kids all the time. I will be fine, thank you.
A few days later, Christa goes into labor, 6 days early.
And at this point, I'm in so much pain. Like, when I'm not having a contraction, I feel fine. And when I'm having a contraction, I've never had pain like that before.
Christa's early labor caught everyone by surprise. Access had not been finalized for our crew, so Scott, the dad, videotaped the birth. Coming up, how a little baby makes a big impact.
We're home!
We're entering a busier phase of our life.
I'm so lucky to not have a C-section.
Christa has always known what she wanted.
I I really just wanted to get married and have kids.
She met and married Scott at university.
How are you feeling, Christa?
And now she's delivering her third child in less than 2 years. As soon as Christa arrives at the hospital, she's given an epidural. And because of her early labor, the expectant dad is the only one there to videotape the birth.
They measured me and I was 8 centimeters. So in an hour and a half, I dilated from 3 centimeters to 8 centimeters, which explains all my pain. That felt really good.
Just before midnight, Christa gives birth to a 6-pound, 14-ounce boy named Joe.
To watch your baby be born is just miraculous. Oh, the relief I felt when his little head came out. It was so nice to hear him cry, to know he was okay, and to be able to touch him. So I got to bond a little bit, and then, of course, you know, they weigh the baby. He was only 6 pounds, 14 ounces. So we delivered only a week early, and he's just a small baby, which, not a problem. Smaller, fits through the hole better.
There you go.
So how many weeks were you, Christa? You
38 weeks and 6 days, but he was born almost at midnight, so it was almost 39 weeks.
know, man. I know.
So we're never having any more babies?
No, and to be perfectly honest, I'm not as put off as I would pretend to be after that experience.
Yeah.
Well, it was fast, and you get to see what you've been carrying around inside you for the past 9 months. It makes it all worth it. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
There's a receiving. Last night was long and harder than I thought it was going to be. Because we spent so much time in the hospital. I have nothing against the hospital, just I like my home better. I was like, no, I need to go home.
Baby Joe is going to definitely increase the workload by quite a bit. And it's definitely going to increase the busyness of our evenings and weekends a whole bunch. I worry most about Christa about this because she basically doesn't get a break. You know, it's the same job during the week, on the weekends, at night. I think I'll definitely have to play a big role in taking the load off.
We're home.
Hello. The house looks much better than we left it.
Say hi. Welcome to our family. I'm happy to see you too.
Christa gets along well with Scott's parents.
Isaac.
Scott's family is fantastic. Nothing we do is bad. Like, we get pregnant and the world is overjoyed.
We call those the barf pajamas, or we didn't call them that, but
I knew this was gonna be hard, but it didn't hit me till we came home and the boys were so excited to see us and we had baby Joe and how really hard it was gonna be.
there's definitely a lot we have to learn about.
Yeah, it's hard too because I can't do everything because
Right, you're still recovering.
a big problem in our relationship is the fact that I don't like to ask for help. I'm very proud. I don't like to admit when I can't do something, and Scott often will not step in unless I ask specifically. So being pregnant has really brought that out.
Coming up, 2 babies are good company, but 3 babies are a crowd.
We're stretched beyond belief.
They are really tired.
Christa and Scott have just given birth to their 3rd child. With twin boys at home, they now face the task of taking care of all 3. And the full impact is just beginning to sink in.
I'm so lucky to not have a C-section.
The first night was very busy. It started out looking very calm.
All right, boys, upstairs, let's go. Come on.
Because the boys went to bed early that night. The boys went to bed early because they had been up early that morning. They were very tired and they had a nap.
Too much today.
We'll see you tomorrow.
You'll be up bright and early, I am sure of it.
Joe, are you okay? All right, Isaac.
So it looked like they were going to go to bed, and then Joe was sleeping, so it looked like everything was going to be smooth sailing. But then David woke up.
Generally, the boys are really good sleepers, and we sort of assumed that baby Joe wouldn't be all that much trouble because he's the only one getting up in the night. And of course, for the first time in forever, David gets up. What is this?
So he was up screaming, and he was up for about half an hour. And then it turned out that Some people say this is because Joe was born in the middle of the night. I don't know if that's true or not, but regardless, he had his days and nights turned around when he was born. So he'd sleep more during the day and be up more at night. So he woke up, and Chris and I were up till, I guess, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
It was not nearly as smooth as I anticipated. And of course, we're already tired because I just gave birth. That's a big experience.
One day at home, and the reality of what this new addition means is beginning to hit home.
Good morning. During the first week after Joe was born was an extremely chaotic time because we were just adjusting to having a new baby, and Krista was in a lot of pain because she was healing.
I feel much less confident as a parent than I did when I just had the boys because I knew what I was doing, and now I don't.
I think the biggest challenge now is to deal with the lack of sleep as well as dealing with the twins, with baby Joe as well, and trying to figure out all the ways to do all the new things we have to do now.
Well, I knew it would be hard, but I didn't know it would be this hard. And I suspect it's only going to get harder because we're going to get more and more tired and worn out as the days go on.
It was just all we could do to take care of the boys and take care of Joe and take care of Krista too, because she needed rest and she could do very little. So it was all we could do to do that, and then when the boys would sleep, I would rush around to cook meals and get the house cleaned up.
It was so much work, and I mean, we knew it would be hard. We know what it's like to have a baby, but it was way harder than I thought it was going to be. There's so many things you don't anticipate, like Scott got sick, the twins got sick, I wasn't healing, the baby got sick. I can't be the mom I want to be for my boys and for baby Joe and spend time with Scott.
Get the house clean and...
Oh, the house has gone by the wayside.
Yeah.
Have you seen this?
What women often don't realize is something's gotta give. So you can't be a great mom, homemaker, wife, daughter, friend, I can go on, without something giving. And I say to women, choose which one you want to let go of. Often it's the homemaking. Often it's maybe distancing from friends, especially at the beginning. The most important thing is looking after yourself and your family, including your baby. And for a lot of women, letting go of the housework is something that they just come to learn has to happen.
Adding Joe in adds a whole other factor when it comes to the work. Between breastfeeding and burping and changing, it's just any downtime I had with the twins, I don't have anymore.
So it's definitely more than just, going from 2 to 3. It's going from one set of needs to a whole other set.
Scott and I were just we were stretched beyond belief. There was no give anywhere.
Tired, exhausted, and at their wits' end, Christa and Scott admit they can't handle all 3 kids.
It's just been a nightmare.
Christa swallows her pride and reluctantly asks her mother for help.
We don't always get along. She definitely didn't approve when I got pregnant with the twins. And she did not approve of the fact that we got pregnant again so quickly.
Hi, boys. Grandma's come.
And then my mom arrived, and it was like a rainbow coming into our lives. Like stormy, and then, there's the rainbow. Thank God.
We were pretty much at the end of our rope with just the chaos and trying to keep up with everything. And dealing with also the concern that Krista wasn't healing well and things seemed to be getting worse rather than better.
Oh, it was so amazing to have her come. I was so concerned about it before she arrived because my mother and I don't always get along. I find she makes me very emotional and not necessarily in a good way. And so I was really sort of concerned. I really needed her help, but how would we fare mother-daughter relationship-wise? And I had nothing to worry about. She was amazing. I couldn't have coped without my mom. I don't know what we would have done. I wasn't able, or I'm not able to take care of the boys. And I can't play with them. I can't lift them up on the change table without hurting myself. It would have been terrible.
And if anybody could come and help their daughter.
Don't make me do it. I didn't look over. We're the baby twins. I never cry. I don't know if we could have done without her.
There's zero chance of getting lucky tonight.
Not for 6 weeks at least. And even then, who knows? All right, toot toot.
Unless getting lucky means sleeping 4 hours in a row. There's a slight chance of that.
That's what getting lucky to me means.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
I love you. Sleep well.
Coming up, Scott goes back to work. And taking care of 3 little boys is more than Christa bargained for. Christa's mom was a big help to the family, but now she's gone. And Scott is returning to work, leaving Christa to deal with the twins and the newborn alone. Her frustration begins to build once again.
It's definitely a nice break to take off and go to work for the day. Especially in the morning when, you know, everything's crazy and the boys are playing, and just to go and, you know, turn on the music and have a drive alone.
This is my first day all by myself. There was a minor meltdown, and Joe is crying, and Isaac is crying, and David falls down in the middle of this.
So it's definitely nice to have that balance between, you know, all the love, but also all the chaos at home, and the much more relaxed, kind of in-control atmosphere at work.
I'm always sort of jealous that he's sitting quietly in a cubicle with adults and a computer. I don't think he understands the reality of what I do. Because I don't ask him to take all 3 boys very often, or ever, like he's never taken them all out, I don't think he gets it, how much work it really is, and what a big deal it really is that I can do it. You should not get a medal for taking all 3 boys, because I do it every day, and have you seen the medal?
I know.
I don't have a medal. Give me a medal. Yes. So I don't feel that you thoroughly appreciate the shopping alone with all the boys experience.
No?
Not so much.
Is it a lot more difficult than with the twins?
Yes. To get everyone to the store, just to get there, you need to change the baby, feed the baby, burp the baby, put the baby in his car seat. Then you need to change each of the twins and get their coats on. And then you put the baby in the car, then you put the twins in the car, or you could put the twins and then the baby, depending on how exciting you are. And then you drive to the store. So now you've left the house, thank goodness. And then to get everybody into the store is a whole other challenge. You have to get the little cover onto the cart so that the twins do not chew on the dirty cart. And then you put the boys in the cart, and then you need to put the baby in the snuggly. So you get him out of his car seat, throw him in the snuggly, strap him on, and then finally you're ready to shop. So if I have not lost 5 pounds in sweat by that point, it's a miracle. And that's just getting into the store.
I feel I should do everything that you do once, at least so I have some understanding of what you do.
I really like that you feel that way. It means that you want to understand me, and that's what like every woman wants.
I think what you really need to do right from day one is to sort of remind yourself and check in with one another about what's going on with the other person. I think sometimes we have this fantasy idea that everything's great for the other person, that your husband or partner gets to go to work and have a great day, and the other person can think you get to be home all day with the baby and have a great day. And neither is necessarily the fantasy life.
5 weeks have passed. Some things have changed, others have not.
You are a sexual camel.
The last 9 months have been a bit of a sexual drought, because there's morning sickness and Chris is big and not comfortable with her body and so on. So being the sexual camel that I've been of late, I think the next month is not going to be too much more of a challenge.
It's old hat for you.
But really, when do you expect we might get back to having sex?
Well, I need to heal fully.
Yeah.
Also, I'm supposed to go to the doctor first, and she will say it's okay to have sex.
That's right. So the rule is normally 6 weeks, right?
Yeah. And then
but we'd be looking at longer than that, probably.
Well, yeah. Even after the doctor says...
We're at 4.5 weeks now?
Mm-hmm.
So we're not...
No, 5 weeks tomorrow.
Okay. And we're not, like, on the verge of being healed. No.
Mama. No?
Christa thought she had it all figured out. Get married, have kids early, it was going to be perfect. But what she didn't plan on was how much work a new baby and 16-month-old twin boys would really be.
It's hard. It's taxing. I'm sure I have more gray hairs now than I did 3 months ago, or even 2 years ago before I was pregnant with the twins. But I love it so much.
I definitely like to get back to a sex life where we're, I don't know, having sex a few times a week. Dare I hope. I would go with once a month at this point.
Sitting on the floor and reading books to the boys, or, you know, just walking around, burping the baby, even if he's fussy, like it's what I want to do and what I love doing.
Between a full-time job and managing a house and taking care of 3 kids, it's very busy and something that a lot of people don't want to take on.